And you're here.
Yes.
And Dr. Judy is here. So let's stop the
excited to
self-sabotage.
kind of get into this. Okay, so listen, everybody has different reasons for why they self-sabotage. So you've got some internalized beliefs and family traditions. You know, eating with your dad, that's something that's actually very pro-social. You're using eating to deal with stress and anxiety. I saw that in your journal when you were writing that you feel anxious. Oh, all of a sudden you want ice cream. And to be able to keep up these habits, you do certain types of thinking patterns, like very black and white. Oh, I had one French fry. I should just have the whole bag, right? And that's the kind of thinking that we need to start to work on. So I'm gonna teach you a really practical tip today that you can take away with you. It's all about building up our willpower. Willpower is not something that we're just born with. We can train it like we train a muscle. And so how do we train it? We plan ahead for the things that we know are triggers for us. So how we're gonna do this is creating a series of if-thens. So the first one that we're gonna talk about is the first one when you deal with anxiety and negative feelings. So if you feel anxious and you crave something sweet, how about trying to take a few deep breaths and distracting yourself for 15 minutes? Because did you know that all cravings pass in about 10 to 15 minutes? If you can distract yourself for 10 to 15 minutes, you're not going to want that burger or that ice cream quite as much. The second one has to do with making excuses. Like I saw in your journal, well, I'll just get the baby size ice cream, but then what if you get 5 of those, right? That doesn't really work. So if I start to make excuses for why I can have this junk food, then I'm gonna take an inspirational photo of my goal. So what is it that you want?
I really want to live a healthy life because my dad has diabetes. And at 16, the doctor told me that if I didn't take care of myself because it runs in my family, by 35, I would have diabetes. So I'm trying to prevent that. And I don't know, I seriously don't know if that's gonna be possible.
But it is possible.
Of course it's possible.
It is possible. That's your black and white thinking right there, where you think, I'm not gonna be able to do this. So stop that thinking right there. You're going to put an inspirational photo on your phone for that goal of a healthy person who doesn't have diabetes. And every time you make an excuse, that's what you're gonna do is pick up the photo, because visualization is powerful. Take a look at it, remind yourself of why you're doing this and why you're tolerating the stressful feelings. And the last thing is, of course, your favorite route to the drive-through. So you're gonna have to come up with an alternate way to travel where there are other interesting things that you can look at.
Okay.
Maybe a bookstore, maybe a park, maybe another interesting stop. But that will be your last if-then. If I have the urge to take this route to the McDonald's, I'm gonna take this alternate route that takes me through something else that might be kind of interesting to look at. And remember, 10 to 15 minutes is all you need to distract yourself with for that craving to pass. So, do you think you can do that?
Yes, I can.
We're gonna give you copies of these if-thens to take with you so that you can actually have them when you're feeling stressed, when these scenarios come up, so you can remind yourself of what you're doing and also be able to follow through. And we're not gonna let you off the hook without some accountability here. So I'm gonna be checking in with you for the next 30 days to make sure you stay on track. And we are going to eradicate this junk food eating in 30 days. Doesn't mean that you're never gonna eat junk food again. It means that you're gonna be in control of when you eat that junk food, okay?
And by being here today, you already took your first step, just like anyone can take if they pick up a copy of your book.
Thank you.
And I think there are other people who can take a positive step.
Yeah, I would love for everybody in the audience to go home with a copy of my book too.
Thanks, Layla. Good luck.